Hello, everyone. This is another Black Conservative. I am Ryan Boland. Thank you all for joining me. So I just saw a video that just really disturbed me, right? I think this happened in New York, August 20th. And the individual that committed this crime has been arrested. So I'm going to get into that article. It's very short in a minute. But the video that I saw was very disturbing. He walks up behind this guy while he's in line. 20-something-year-old man walks up behind another man while he's in line and just sucker punches him from behind. I mean, boom, hits him. The man falls flat on his face, and he's laying there for a few seconds. And you will see the video in the description box below. You just log in www.breitbart.news and look up the title for the article, and it'll show the video. Few seconds. It's only a few seconds long, and this guy falls flat on his face, and he's just lying there, and everybody's standing around looking at him and just not doing anything, or so it doesn't seem to be. And the article goes on to say, you know what? I'm not going to give you what I'm going to read to you what the article said, but it's very disturbing what I've seen here, and but I have something to say about that. I believe that there's a reason for this kind of embroiled violence. We've had violence before, and violence has always been a part of our society, of course, from the beginning of time till now. But I believe that we're going to see an increase in this kind of violence because of certain factors. So I just want to get right into this. Let's get right into this article here. We're going to analyze this. But the article states the suspect accused of punching a stranger at a Brooklyn mall on August 20th has been arrested. Officials charged 21-year-old Jaham David with assault following the incident that happened inside the Kings Plaza Mall that evening, the New York Post reported Sunday. A 36-year-old man was walking through the building when the suspect approached him from behind and allegedly punched him, causing the man to fall on the floor. Allegedly, well, we saw the video. He actually did do it. The suspect then walked away from the scene, leaving the man on the floor. However, he eventually returned and then left again. Others at the scene appeared to back away from the man laying on the floor. And like I said, if you see the video, it's very disturbing. You can log onto it and watch it yourself if you can handle it. It's terrible. During this time, a security guard can be seen walking by the victim's motionless body, but also does not attend to him as he walks away. He even appears to look at the victim while walking, according to Breitbart News. Emergency crew transported the victim to Brooksdale Hospital Medical Center. He was listed in stable condition and later released from care. According to law enforcement, David turned himself in to authorities. The man has been arrested for domestic violence in June after allegedly hitting his girlfriend. The woman suffered a cut lip, police sources told the Post. David also had a sealed arrest from the day before that incident, but its contents were secret. What the heck is that supposed to be about? The sources said. The outlet continued. One resident expressed his thoughts about what happened, telling CBS New York, "I will never come back in here to shop." And I want to end the article there. You can read the rest of it on your own free time, but that's all I'm really going to talk about on that. But that's a very unfortunate incident that happened there. The man could have died. I think an incident happened some time ago where a young man walks up behind a 79-year-old man and punches him. And I think the man fell face down. I think he died from his injuries. And you're seeing a lot of this kind of unprovoked violence taking place in our society. And unfortunately, I believe it's going to increase. Now, why do I believe in that? Well, I hate to put it this way, but I think a significant number of these kind of actions can be attributed to the leadership on a local, state, and federal level. Now, you may say, what do I mean by that? People should take responsibilities for their actions. Yes, they should. But when you have leaders in positions of authority who encourage this kind of violent behavior by the laws that they create, or the soft laws or lenient laws that they create through legislation that make it easy or how can I put it? Put it this way, easy. That's like I said, when you create legislation that makes it easy for this kind of activity to take place, I believe it's going to take place. And I think that that is what's going on in our societies. Unfortunately, we have these liberals that create these laws. Yes, liberal politicians create laws and legislation that says these people these criminals are victims of their circumstances. They're victims of the system, and therefore they are not responsible for what they do. This is what liberals believe in. That's not my opinion. That's a fact. That's their worldview. That's why they're soft on crime, because they believe that the system is an oppressive system designed by white supremacists and designed by the rich to suppress the poor. Therefore, any action that poor people commit is not their fault. I had an argument, so let them do what they want to do. What I won't say let them do it, but it's not their fault. The system created these people. So therefore, we go soft on the crime. We don't put them in jail for long periods of time because the system created them. I had an argument with a pedestrian yesterday late at night when I was on my job at Cleveland downtown Tower City. I'm on my job. It's about, 10:25 at night. I got a few more minutes before my shift is over. I'm ready to go home. And a guy comes in, he's trying to get in the mall. The mall's closed. Me and my partner tell him it's closed, you can't get in. He gets mad at me because he says, why did you let those people in? It was a group of about 6 or 7 whites that wanted to go in, but I let them in because they were going to the Renaissance Hotel, which is on the right-hand side. All they have to do is walk through the door. That's where they were going. And he comes in talking about comes in after them. And I said, well, the mall is closed. He says, well, you let those people go in. And I said, well, they're going in because they're going in for the Renaissance Hotel. That's what they asked me. Is you going in the Renaissance Hotel? No. But he said, no, but I'll go in. I'm going to go in. I said, man, get out of here. Go back, Anyway, he goes into this big hoopla about you Uncle Toms and you guys oppress the system, oppress it. It just got crazy. And I told him off. I didn't use explicit language, but I told him, I said, man, I'm so tired of African Americans using the same stupid excuse to excuse their actions. Even if the system was designed against you, then why do you keep letting the system control your life? I told him. Well, the system made them that way. In other words, the system made these people want to knock somebody out, walk behind them and punch them in the face and perhaps risk their life. The system created this person that wants to go inside a store and rob somebody and kill somebody. I said, if the system, let me tell you something. I told him this. I said, if the system is the reason why you got all these criminals out here acting like they're acting, see, then what about all of the people that were born in the same system that are successful? They've become doctors, lawyers, filmmakers, entrepreneurs, authors, you name it. They came out of the same system, out of the same impoverished situations, but yet they've become successful. So explain to me what's going on here. Explain to me how they were able to do that. And I told him, I said, you can't explain. And I'll tell you the reason why. It's because people have free will. They have the ability to choose which course they want to go. The reason why, for the most part, people become criminals is because they don't want to put in the hard work. Now, you may have some that were raised in a criminal environment. But even if you raised in a criminal environment, I've heard of stories where people were raised in criminal environments and still said to themselves, I don't want to be like daddy. I don't want to be like mama. I don't want to be a drug addict. I don't want to be a drug dealer. I see that that's negative. I see that doesn't work. I want to do something that's going to better my life. We have a conscience. Every human being has a conscience. And our conscience tells us what's right and wrong. It may be not as enlightened as maybe someone else's conscience may be, because it may not have received the information it needs to be informed. But we all have a conscience that I believe tells us what's right and wrong. And that inner conscience tells you going down that road to crime is not the right way. A lot of times you don't need somebody to tell you what's right and wrong. You know intuitively that that's not right, that this is right and that's not right. So what's the excuse? And I said, get out of here. After it was all over, he got to screaming and hollering and calling me an Uncle Tom. And I said, well, okay, man, well, now I'm an Uncle Tom now because I'm telling you the truth. The truth is a light, bro. That's what I told him. I said, well, go ahead. That's what I believe the situation is here. And I believe that this is a situation that many of these liberal politicians are creating when they push for legislation that goes soft on these kind of crimes. It makes it easy for people to act this way. It makes it easy for people to act out the darkness of their human heart. That's in part, but there's other reasons why for this kind of activity too. There's other reasons that gets into the spiritual realm, and this is not the video for that. But suffices to say, this is what we see going on. This is a sad, sad situation. And let me say something about the Republicans. You know, some of these Republicans I fought too, because some of these Republicans they're too scared to voice what's realistic. They're too scared to voice their views on this kind of stuff. You may not be able to take out the darkness of a human heart. You may not be able to change the darkness of the human heart, but you can certainly create legislation that will restrain that type of activity. That's why we have government. That's why we have laws. I'm for small government, but I'm certainly not for no government. Okay, we need government. We need laws to restrain the darkness in people's hearts and minds. Because if not, we're going to have total, complete anarchy. Where there's no law, there's anarchy. And this is what we're seeing right here. We're seeing bits and pieces of what I believe is going to become a total, complete breakdown. If people who don't have some sense of moral sense of values don't get in office and change this, whether on the legislative branch, and the governor branch, and well, rather the presidential branch, and the local government, state government branch. If we don't get people that's in office that's able to change this course of action, then we're going to get more and more of this kind of behavior. We're going to get more and more of this. So prayerfully, hopefully, things will change come November. But I wanted to end the video on this note. For those of you that believe in the power of prayer, you need to keep praying. Yes, I'm going to just say that. You need to keep praying. You need to pray more now than you ever prayed. Now is not the time to stop from praying. Now is not the time to stop reading your Bible. Now is not the time to stop going to church, because the Bible predicts that these things are going to happen. It predicted these things are going to happen, and they're getting worse and worse and worse. And yes, I do believe in the Antichrist. Yes, I do believe in the 7-year tribulation period. And we're approaching that right now. And these liberals and do nothing Republicans are the tools that Satan is using to bring that about. But America can change if we get the right people in office. It do not have to end this way. It don't. And that's just what I believe. What do you guys believe? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, share, subscribe to this channel. God bless you all, and see you again.